So yeah, I mean, we can start by just you can say something about Supercold as a company, and you know how it was started and when it was started and stuff, just to give a basic background.
I don't want to tell the long story, but it's actually a long and interesting story.
Okay.
It started all the way back, almost 50 plus years back.
Hmm.
My father was studying in Marwan's College here in Trivandrum.
Mm-hmm.
So, tragedy hit when he was 19 years old. His father passed away.
Okay.
And because of that, he had three younger ones to take care of.
Hmm.
So, his mother could not invest too much in his studies, and there has to be a lot of budgeting and things to be in place.
Hmm.
So, at that time, he got into radio repairing and fridge repairing and things
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
So, radio was a very emerging segment at that time.
Hmm.
So, uh, technicians for getting your radio repaired were in very much in demand. So
Hmm.
he studied that and he started working as a technician while
Hmm.
he was still pursuing his studies in college.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he was staying in the hostel there, and outsiders used to come searching for this boy who was
Hmm.
repairing radios.
Radios.
So
Hmm.
slowly, when people in the radio segment, that is when technicians started increasing, he slowly came out of that and got into refrigeration.
Hmm.
So he was, I don't want to say the name of a company. He was a dealer
Hmm.
for a particular company
Hmm.
for their brand of refrigerators here. Dealer in the sense, he started off as a mechanic.
Hmm.
Then he became a dealer for Trivandrum area.
Hmm.
Then, after a few years, he understood that the company was uh, interested only in selling new equipment,
Okay.
not in maintaining new equipment. So, if
Hmm.
you ask
Hmm.
for a condenser or
Hmm.
if you ask for a compressor or things like that,
Hmm.
there used to be a lot of delay, and in some cases, it is not available at all.
Hmm.
So, when customers take machines trusting him, it was
Hmm.
difficult for him to tell the customer after 2 years that you have to throw away your machine.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's why we started searching for alternate places to locate the spares from.
Hmm.
So he started he started collecting the spares and he solved most of the customers' problems.
Hmm.
So one of our relative, who was almost like a mentor for him,
Hmm.
asked him, "Hey, you're doing all these things. You're buying the equipment from them. You're repairing all these things. A to Z parts are being done by you. Why don't you
Hmm.
start manufacturing?"
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
So he started manufacturing freezers initially,
Okay.
and he used to sell it to Milma, which
Okay.
is known for, which is the government's wing for manufacturing and selling milk-based products, including like
Correct.
sweets. They
Hmm.
have lot of offering in that.
Hmm.
So that is how it started off. Then, just by sheer coincidence, or maybe you can call it as a hobby,
Hmm.
he saw one machine somewhere in Bombay,
Hmm.
which was making ice.
Nice.
So
Hmm.
at that time, yeah, that was a time when you find ice only in the tray of your domestic freezer. You don't
Correct.
find ice as a product anywhere.
Hmm.
So he got fascinated by that and he thought of an idea of making such a machine during his free time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Purely out of hobby, nothing else. No
Hmm.
compulsion
Hmm.
from anybody,
Hmm.
purely out of hobby.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he made the ice cream making machine. That is the very first machine.
Hmm.
You can say the great grandfather of all the machines which we are running here at this
Hmm. Hmm.
factory right now. So
Hmm.
he made that machine and he just, after, of course, there were plenty of trials and others. So he made that machine and he kept it in front of his workshop.
Hmm. Hmm.
So at that time, he used to have a lot of friends when his networking was really good. So he
Hmm.
used to have a lot of friends who were members of a few clubs here in Trivandrum.
Hmm. Hmm.
So one person was like really fascinated
Hmm.
because this is the first time he's seeing ice cubes falling down like rain.
Hmm. Hmm.
Usually, you just see ice inside your freezer, there will be white
Yes.
color, there will be
Yes.
nothing very much descriptive about that.
Mm.
So this person was very much interested, and luckily he was there in the purchase committee of that particular club.
Okay.
So he said, Chandy, we want this machine.
Mm.
What price can you give it for?
Mm.
They said,
Mm.
I have not fixed the price for it because
Mm.
I made it purely out of hobby. If you
Mm.
want to take it and run the club for a few
Mm.
days, you can take it. You don't have to pay anything. No, we
Mm.
want to buy the machine.
Mm.
So
Mm.
the first machine was sold for 25,000 rupees.
Oh, this
So
is
then the
when.
question came.
Mm.
Yeah, then the question came. If this fails, what is your, what can you do? I mean, like
Mm.
after a few days, if some problem is coming, if you're not unable to repair it, how
Mm.
will you solve it?
Mm.
Nothing, I'll give you back your 25,000 rupees and I'll take the machine away. Simple.
Yeah. Mm.
So,
Mm.
incidentally, that happened to be one of the most popular clubs in Trivandrum at that time.
Mm. Mm.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
can
that
hear you.
happened to
Yeah.
be one of the
Mm.
most popular clubs in Trivandrum at that time.
Mm.
And there were people coming from all over the what do you say, the Trivandrum district as well as the nearby Tirunelveli, Nagarcoil districts of Tamil Nadu as well.
Mm. Mm.
So people started inquiring, and very soon, one by one, machines started. We started getting inquiries for one by one machine because people were
Mm.
fascinated by the idea of ice cubes falling. That is crystal clear ice cubes falling just
Mm.
like that instead of
Mm.
the old concept of keeping it in a tray.
Yes. Yes.
So that one clicked at that time. So that is how
Mm.
Supercold started manufacturing machines on a regular basis.
Okay.
That way.
Okay. Interesting
So this is
story.
about the how the company started its
Mm.
story.
Mm. And when did you sort of join the business? What was your journey before joining?
Oh, I joined the business a long time back when I was a child itself because I
Okay.
used to come here to the factory
Mm.
whenever I used to get holidays in my school.
Mm.
I used to come here. Most people would go for some outing or some
Mm.
what do you say, some tour or something like that. But I used
Mm.
to find myself at peace coming here
Mm.
to the factory, seeing what people are doing, seeing
Mm.
what outcome is coming out of what work they are doing. So
Mm.
basically, my interest surrounds around whatever I have seen in my
Mm.
childhood in this factory.
Mm. Mm.
So to answer that question, there is no better way to say that I joined this factory when I was a child. But to
I think.
quickly answer your question, I joined this factory after complete my engineering
Mm.
and I did my MBA. So
Mm.
after that, I joined the factory in 2010.
2009. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you can say
And
as a member of the board, I joined at that time.
okay. Yeah, I think this is common among us second generation entrepreneurs. I also
Correct,
remember
correct, correct,
my
correct.
holidays and all is like in machines, doing at that point. I think because of the age, we weren't allowed to handle some machines. Like I was not
Yes,
allowed
yes.
to do the brazing and all, but I was allowed to in our
Yeah,
business. It's like
yeah, yeah. Because there is,
machines are also very
as
old.
far as we are concerned, there is enough fascination inside the factory itself. You don't have to look for fascination outside.
True, true. And we
And
used to
that
have
too, I
this.
think our generation, our younger generation was blessed because at that time there was no tab, there was no mobile. You
Yeah,
had to spend your
true.
time reading something, you have to actually study something, you have to actually uh, be there, do it with your hands, get your hands dirty.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
how
Yeah,
I think,
I
I mean,
remember. I
I'm not
think,
saying the present generation does not have that luck. Maybe they have it in a different way.
yeah, yeah. The interests are different. I think for me also, I remember we used to have the fins and manually collect them and then put insert the tubes and all. And fins are very sharp. It's like 0.12 mm, and
Well,
usually at the end of the day, there will be like many small, small cuts. At that point, as a child, I'm like, wow. I mean, my hands are so rugged, and that's how we felt. But now I think the thing is very different. Just grease in your hand itself feels different for some people. But yeah, I think
yes, yes, yes.
that is true in the sense how for me also, like when I did engineering also, my dad's or our only idea is that you finish that and come to the business. You're doing engineering to join the business and not like a separate career by itself. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I mean I completely agree with you because even when
mhm.
I was doing my engineering, I'm sure you also would have gone through that. one or the other way, you would have told one of your friends that your father is running a business. So naturally, they'll feel like, okay, you came here to study, you finish your course, and you're going to join your company. Fatafat, you'll be the boss. But we know that that is not how it is.
Yes. That comes, that brings the next question. You joined the
Yeah.
company, but when did you become the boss? Like how and when did that transition happen?
See, uh, my father was someone who was not afraid of me making mistakes.
Hmm.
So basically, it's not like he asked me to watch and see what others are doing and then study. It's not
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
It's like some projects he handed over to me without thinking about anything else. I mean,
Hmm.
like complete control over the project. He will not
Hmm.
interfere in that at all.
Hmm.
If I
Hmm.
have any doubts, I can go near him.
Hmm.
If I have any new ideas which I want to implement, I
Hmm.
just have a word with him. Whether
Hmm.
he says yes or no, I will
You'll
implement it.
do.
If it's a failure, it's a lesson for me.
Yeah.
If it's success, then it adds to my confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
And
even if
there
it's
have
a
been plenty
failure,
of
it
failures.
adds.
There have been plenty of failures as well.
Hmm.
Because see, there is an old saying: you can take a horse to the water, but you cannot make
Hmm.
it drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first generation entrepreneurs, they have that they have the drive to run the show themselves.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there is no better way to inspire the second or third generation than to cultivate that sort of belief in themselves, in
Hmm.
them, to
Hmm.
create that confidence to do it themselves. It should
Hmm.
not be that they are eating something and just doing copy paste. That should not be
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say like I joined maybe 2 or 3 years. I was just goofing around the factory doing nothing.
Hmm.
So I would be probably seeing what people are doing,
Hmm.
uh, how much time is going in this, how much. I mean,
Hmm.
basically, you try to form a Gantt chart and try to reduce the time in
Hmm.
processes.
Hmm.
So that is what I was initially doing. When it is
Hmm.
productive in a way, but not the actual kind of productive results you would expect.
Hmm.
So after 2 3 years, I started getting into the actual manufacturing side and the
Okay.
design side.
Okay.
And now it's like I have become a mentor for people here in
Hmm.
my designing team. So, so that is
Hmm.
how the transition is
Hmm.
happening.
It slowly happens, but I
Yes,
think, as you said, your dad's perspective about it has always has really helped. That if somebody is there who's able to hand it over to you to take the risk, then that is completely, it's a
correct,
big
correct,
boost in your
correct, correct,
confidence.
correct.
Yeah.
No, because
Some, mm,
company will run as long as the founder is there.
mm,
But if it has to continue running even after him,
yeah.
that second line should come into place.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that thought should come from the second line itself, not from the
Yes.
first line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the other thing I wanted to ask is like, how were you sort of introduced to Southern Coil? I mean, when you first heard about it as your supplier, what was your impression? And over the years, what do you think about Southern Coil and the products that we supply?
I was not introduced to Southern Coil, but by anybody outside. I was introduced
Mm,
to Southern Coil by my dad himself.
true. Mm,
So he was already taking condensers and evaporators from you a
mm,
long time back. Your
yeah.
dad,
Yeah.
Babu sir, long time
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah.
uh, it was like a name which was very familiar to me from my young age itself.
Okay.
So naturally, if you ask me frankly, I've not asked regarding condensers or evaporators to
Mm,
any other manufacturer except maybe one or two, but not to the extent at which we are doing business.
mm, mm,
So this has
mm,
become like one of our what do you say uh, part of Supercold itself, like I earlier
mm,
mentioned.
yeah.
So uh, Southern Coil is actually a part of Supercold itself. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
be it ongoing production or be it developing new products,
Mm,
we don't have to look at an alternate supplier
mm, mm,
because when do we have to look at an alternate supplier? When there's a problem with the existing supplier, either in terms of
mm,
uh, uh, finance, either in terms of delivery, either in terms of quality.
Quality,
So
yeah.
you have met all these three aspects. So we don't even have to look outside.
Hmm. Thanks, thanks. Yeah, I think we also, for us personally, when we do business with Supercold and a few customers like Supercold, what happens is, see, as a business also, the financial part or the costing part is something that we look from an overall perspective, that okay, we have to reduce cost to give the best value. That's always there.
Correct.
And but we are not focusing when a customer comes with a certain requirement, we are not thinking, okay, this customer we have to get this much margin or this much. That is not how we look at it. And that is helpful
Yes.
when customers like Supercold, when they're discussing, it's only about quality and what are the things that we need in the product, and what are the developments that we need, because we have a trust that the cost is not something that we are looking at the first stage itself. When we see a drawing, we are not looking at how much we can charge for this, and
Yes. Yes.
that amount of freedom. And with our transactions also, it's always that whatever cost is there, we have a basic cost, but then after that, anything additional, we just say, okay, this raw material cost is this much extra, or this is extra. That flow of orders and the flow of interactions that we have, it's very rare to have that. I think that also comes because of the first and second generation, also the way the trust is
Yeah.
developed.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, since you told about the costing side, I don't think we have ever discussed anything about cost till
Yeah,
now.
we haven't. No.
We never had to.
Yeah.
Over the years, we never had to.
I mean, every day, almost every day, we have a customer inquiry which they ask for the cost, and the way that we work is that the costing is already done to a great extent, where any of the main, like the accounts and Anthony, who's looking after production, or me, we all have the same data. So you ask any of us, we'll give the same cost, because and so that is like purely calculated and done mathematically. I mean, purely. So then, if a customer
Yeah.
asks for 5%, like we are thinking, my immediate question is that if I had known that you'll ask a discount, I would have increased 5% and then given your first quote, and then
Yeah.
because
You're telling your secrets out.
no, it's true. I mean, I we fail to do that every day. We are not thinking, okay, if customer asks, we'll give a discount. We don't think in that perspective, because all of
No,
our
no.
customers.
What I tell my customers when they ask such questions is,
Mm,
when you ask me, you ask any of the marketing team, you just call the factory landline. Don't even tell your name and tell where you're calling from. Nobody will
mm,
ask you also.
yeah,
Ask the price of the model. They will tell you the price. That
yeah,
price and what price I tell you and what price another person from within the company, that is the marketing department, tell you will be the same.
mm, yeah.
What it won't even be 1 rupee different.
True, true.
Because that is how it is. Because earlier, olden times, it's like you don't have that much, what is the internet and availability of information.
Mm,
So, when for let us say an equipment costing 4 lakhs,
mm,
you can say it actually costs 5 lakhs, but for you, I'll give you a special discount of 4 lakh
yeah,
20,000.
yeah, yeah.
Buyer is also happy, seller is also happy. But now it is not like that. Just
Yeah.
think you want something, just press few buttons on your phone, 10 people will
Correct,
call you.
correct,
Sir, you're interested in so and so, I'll give you for so and so price. There you don't
correct.
have the opportunity to give a big price first and then give a
Yes,
discount. You don't get the
yes,
opportunity for that. The first time,
yes,
first price you tell, that has to be the best price only.
yes,
Then it will continue. Otherwise,
yes.
it's finished.
Absolutely. We also say that this is like the first quote is our no regret quote. Like if you say that you got a better quote than this, we are okay. I mean, we are happy that you go and buy. If somebody is giving you 10% less than this, then that's a big value. I don't know how they get it,
You
but
give them their address. I will also buy like that. You would have
yeah, I would have done that also. Done that. I said that I'll buy from them and only supply, because that price doesn't make any sense.
you don't need 10% discount. We are happy with 2%, 4%.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 2% is also like the way we give discount is like if you have 10, 15 numbers, then we save some labor cost
Yeah,
by doing it continuously. That we are
correct.
willing to
Correct.
pass on. They say raw material. We
Yes.
say that when we calculate the raw material cost, it's like the purchase cost. It is not like for one customer who buys 100 kilos, we buy separately for them. No, the cost is equally divided. So
Correct.
yeah, I mean
Correct.
that way the thing is with customers like our older customers, that trust is there so much that we also don't want to give a cost which later tomorrow they come and ask how can you give that I mean you have supplied us for so many years at this price. That is something that we don't want to happen.
Correct.
Yeah, but as you said, it's like
Yes. Yes. Yes.
now you can get a quotation, you can put it anywhere that you want a condenser, and then 10 people will call you and give you quotes. So we are like very confident that if you really compare, as you said, the cost and quality and delivery, we are confident that we have a good value proposition which is hard to match. Yeah. So before we sort of end this, I wanted to ask if you had any questions about the products or the company or anything specifically you wanted to ask.
Nothing specific because on this I mean, maybe for this video I might ask, but otherwise you have kept me abreast with whatever is
Yeah,
happening in your factory,
yeah, yeah.
and in fact you've introduced the latest technologies also.
Yeah, okay.
So probably we hope in the coming years we'll see you at a much better stand at par with uh, the suppliers for the large companies. We are a small company. I'm talking about the large, big companies. So we are hoping that you'll soon be there, and we'll be proud to have your products inside our machines as well.
Yeah,
So no
definitely.
questions specifically, except I have one small, uh, uh, I wouldn't say concern. It was regarding the delivery.
Hmm,
It was early because now
hmm.
I think we give you a small lead time.
Yeah,
So uh, earlier, I think, especially when summer hits, when the season comes,
yeah,
you have a little bit of crunch, I mean, in the
true,
production
true.
crunch. So
Yeah,
probably for that, you might have to do something.
yeah, yeah,
That is the only thing I mean, I'm not saying this is affecting your quality in any way, only the
yeah,
delivery times, because that is a critical time for everybody.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
true.
March to about June, July, if you see, that is a critical time for refrigeration industry. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to sell fast. Everybody wants to make fast.
Yes,
Everybody pressurizes you.
yes.
So uh, I know, like there is a limit to which you can
Mm.
push things, but still, I would request you to do what best is possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think
Yeah,
that is something I also, say that my customers want the product yesterday. It's like
yeah, yeah,
during
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
crunch
Correct,
seasons.
correct, correct.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the past like 10 years that I have spent in the company, we don't have a marketing or sales team. It's always through word of mouth that we get customers. So all my
yes,
focus has been only on like cost, quality, and delivery. How to reduce the cost, how to keep the product at a quality which is above all the other competitors that are there in the market in our area. I
yes,
think especially South India, that is one main goal that we have. And delivery is something that I personally I feel really bad when if I don't keep my commitments. That is something that is very personal trait that I have. And for me, that also crosses over to the business where I want to be able to say to the customer that this is the day that I will deliver the product, and I want to deliver 2 days before. That is the mindset that we operate, and that is the culture that we sort of want to bring into the company. And in this pursuit, it's how we came to a system where we are able to have a system where the customer can log in and see track their orders, like what status it is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and when
I've
it
heard
can be
about it, but I've
delivered.
not used it myself.
Yeah,
I've
you
heard
should
about the
log in
economics of the
sometime.
system. I've not used it
Yeah,
myself.
yeah,
At the same time, I should be really thankful for you having a software support
mm,
that actually helped us with the design of the large glass freezer.
mm, mm.
I think it was a year back.
Yeah,
So we were like completely stuck.
mm, mm.
We invested in the outdoor condensing unit. We invested in the full body of the machine, not one, two machines at the same time. So
Okay.
we could not get it to the production which we needed. So
mm,
finally, it was identified that there's a problem with the evaporator design,
mm,
and then
mm,
we approached you with the design.
mm,
And till now, your team has never told me no as far as design is possible. Because
mm.
every time we do something new, and we come to you, is this possible?
Yeah,
Is this possible? So
yeah.
you'll find some of this happening.
True, true. That is,
And your software support has been excellent.
mm,
So you gave us all realistic charts and what do you say, the temperature transfer, how it's happening at so and so temperatures, at what fan speeds. So
yeah,
that has been really helpful in designing. Uh, so for that, I'm really thankful because that
yeah,
was
yeah.
one point when we were like completely stuck and we did not have a way forward. But
Mm.
then your investment in the software actually proved to be a help for us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that comes with the territory. When I say that our product has to be a quality standard, we are willing to put all the time and effort into making sure the product is good. The problem is
Yes,
solved. That is always the priority. So yeah, I mean,
yes,
and with the delivery, I think our firm commitment or what we are always trying to do is whenever there's like a excess of orders, we try to do manage in some way, get extra manpower and sort of maintain that under the 2 weeks mark. But in our trade, what happens is suddenly like three customers at the same time will give an order, which is like a 1 week production order, and then that
mm,
suddenly pushes the delivery time forward. This is something I used to over the 10 years always I think that no, I should deliver like 5 days, 5 days, you shouldn't be more than 5 days. But then somebody once told me that it's good that you have more orders, you don't want it to be
mm,
like -5 days.
mm.
Like always have plus lead time, that okay, you have orders for 10 days, it's a great thing, don't say that it's a something negative. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we understand that and for me, as I said, it personally feels bad when a very good customer of ours wants something urgently, and saying no is something that's really we struggle with. But yeah, I mean, we try to make some
exactly.
changes, like we try to, if we can stock some kind of raw materials in pre-process stage, if we know that these
Yeah,
are the general models, we do all that kind of stuff. Even when we are doing our
yeah,
CNC
yeah.
programming, we fit in some products or some end plates of super cold in between, so that when the order comes, it's ready to take off.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It happens similarly for us also in the sense,
Hmm.
even though I asked you regarding increasing your production capacity to match
Hmm.
the demand in summer,
Hmm.
uh, same thing happens for us also. Like
Yeah.
as of now, if you look, we have almost 150 plus machines in stock.
Mm,
But when the summer starts, in the blink of an eye, it will go from here.
mm.
And again, you're in spiral. It will
Yeah.
start everything. That being the condition, I am
Mm,
sure, uh, the Indian summer is like that. I mean,
yeah,
you have like a little bit of part to the South India, and when that is slowly getting over, you have business coming from North India.
correct.
So, how much ever you are prepared, each year will overwhelm you.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. That's the season unexpectedness is really off the charts. I think last two,
Yeah,
3 years is
and,
unpredictable.
yeah, and as far as our relationship with you is concerned, uh, for the regular machines which we are going, 10 numbers, 20 numbers, we can keep giving order. When we start the production here, we give the order to you, have sufficient time to supply. For
Mm,
that, there is no problem.
mm.
But there will be one piece coming from the market which is in warranty, and which will be a completely different design.
Yes, yes,
So that will be what will be affecting your production because you
yes,
need to
yes,
change the settings. You need to do one left part, one right part, all the
yes,
fins. So that is where
yes.
you will be facing
Yeah,
challenges.
yeah.
So
But we do
probably
it. I
for
think, to be honest, when certain requirements from your side come, I don't even know. Internally, they know the super cold when the name comes itself. Even from the supervisor to the person who's operating the press also knows that okay, this is special. This has to be done. Anywhere in between, it can be done. They will do it. It's like even if I say today lead time is 2 weeks. super cold coils will
Mm.
be in 7 days, 8 days. It will. I don't have to intervene at all. That is how it is actually.
Mm. And I mean, it was actually a huge but pleasant surprise for me.
Hmm.
I was earlier talking about the blast freezer evaporator.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I was thinking you would say 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and all that because it's a
Hmm.
huge evaporator.
Hmm.
But I think Anthony sir, when I was actually discussing the details with him over call, he was
Hmm.
at home. Still, he was came on video call and he was drawing and showing me like this has to come from here, so we can make it like this. All those things he was doing.
Yeah.
And finally, I think on the third day or fourth day, he was able to dispatch it.
Yeah. That is true. That is very true. Some customers' names, because it's been, as you said, it's been 20, 25 years that that name has been with us. As you said,
Yeah,
it's a part of, we both part of each other's business in a
correct,
great way.
correct, correct, correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, thanks for doing this. It was actually really nice that we could meet and in person and talk for so long, which we haven't done. And we should do more of
Yes,
this
yes, yes.
outside also. But yeah, I mean, thanks for doing this, and I'll catch up with you soon. Um,
Fine,
uh,
fine, definitely.
any other requirements, we'll of course keep interacting. And
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
thanks for this.
Fine. So this has
Yeah,
been nice. So
yeah.
I wish you all the best.
Same to you, sir. I mean,
Yeah.
you mentioned big companies. For me, it is truly, to be honest, it's about the relationship we have with some customers that are more valuable, and that
Yes,
boosts everybody. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
All
All
right.
right. Thank
See
you.
you again. Yeah.
Bye
See you.
bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.